we build and launch software for our customers. We launch more software products during the course of a year than the average product manager does during the course of a career. Over the last few years, a lot of our work has moved into the mobile space. We're probably about 50-50 in terms of mobile being a part of that, heavily in iOS and Android. One of the things that we've seen in the mobile space is that the marketing and analytics effort for successful launches is often much greater than in the web space, and certainly can be much greater than the actual development costs for apps. So because we do a lot of this, we thought we'd share a framework for how you might go about doing marketing for your mobile apps. Before I get into that, I wanted to get some sense of how many of you currently have apps out there for iOS in the App Store. Okay. How many of you have multiple apps in the App Store? Okay. How about Android? How many of you have Android apps out there? So fewer. How about other app stores, BlackBerry or Windows, etc.? So, okay, gotcha. Well, so about half of you are in that area. There's a lot of stuff to cover, and we only have a limited amount of time, so we concentrated on a relatively simple case. Our assumption here for the marketing is that this is a first application, and that your pricing model is based on paid downloads. There are a lot of advanced topics that we can't really talk about, but if you guys are interested in, you can talk to us later or reach out to us after this meeting. So things that add some complexity, but some interesting things that you can do are, the impact of pricing models, things like light versus paid versions, using things like in-app purchases, subscription models, bundling of web apps and with mobile apps, or bundling of mobile apps. Other things that we're not going to cover here is using mobile as a channel for new customers for your existing services or apps. What you do when you have multiple apps, or things like Zynga-style customer development. Zynga is a company that has a lot of games, things like Farmville, and they, when they are developing new games, do a lot of work testing and test marketing before they actually build something, and then they start with landing pages, testing the concepts, and only some of those go through, and they have sort of various things that they do to sort of winnow things down to only the apps that might be the most successful, and then actually within the apps they do tons of testing on whether you get more people playing and spending money if you put grapes in the app, so they will test that on a few people. There's are a lot of things like that, very interesting models that you can do with that type of thing. Again, not something we have time to talk about, but there are a lot of topics here in this area. So the first thing that you should, those of you who already have apps out there, is that app marketing is very different from web marketing. Web marketing is a part of it, but marketing a mobile app is much more involved, and there are a lot more variables that are not as easily controlled as web marketing is. And some of those things obviously involve launch dates that are out of your control, and a lot of other things that are there. The other thing is that marketing is a continuous process. It's not a, launch and then you do some marketing right then when you launch. You should really start a marketing program at the same time as you begin writing the app, or frankly before you start writing the app rather than after it's done. And time spent on marketing an app is often a lot more than creating the app. So we're going to show you a 21-step process Todd is going to start with things.